Utah. He has a lot of great players to train with back home. We'll talk more about his development as this match progresses. Todd obviously doesn't have as much experience in big time matches, I would say, like this is, than the other three players, but terrific player in his own right. Teaming up with Rafa Hewett, I believe, for the first time that I've seen these two play together, so I'm really anxious to see how this match goes. Todd coming out, Jim, a little bit tight here. You'd expect that here. He's probably been here for about 5 hours and hasn't played a match here today, so that's human nature.
Rafa with a nice backhand volley in transition. Ignatowich can hit the ball as hard as anybody in the game. Brought the heat, and Rafa had no problem.
You'll see that Rafa Hewett really loves his two-handed backhand. He actually prefers that shot, and he'll sit on it hard. Very dangerous weapon for Rafa, both in singles and doubles, is that two-handed backhand. And that one just hung up high for James with an easy put away.
James with his own shake and bake, all on his own. Quick update from Humanic Center Court. We've got the 16th seed Gabe Tardio and Andre Deescu up to an early 7-1 lead over the #1 seed of Colin and Ben Johns.
You and I were talking about that match, Jim, earlier today, and I predicted that that was going to be a lot closer than anyone thought. But back to grandstand court here in an early 6-0 lead here for Matt and James. And that's not going to help Todd Fought's cause. He fluffed that ball up high to the Ignatowich backhand, and when you do that, you're going to pay a very steep price. So Matt and James just rolling here early.
Matt probably should have left that ball for James to hit the heavy forehand.
James definitely wanted that.
We do see Ignatowich and Wright stacking. I think that's the right strategy. I think Matt Wright is an excellent right side defensive player at this stage of his career.
Yeah, I like to see Matt on the right side too, because what he can do is he can slide to his right and then sit on his backhand. And I've said this many times on the air that Matt Wright's counter backhand might be the best in the history of pickleball. So you got to be really careful when you attack Matt, is to try to get it to the right side of his body, or if you go to his backhand, you better get the ball down or you're going to pay.
I agree. I think if there's one weakness he can have sometimes is a tendency to speed the ball up at inopportune times. I think if he plays a more defensive style, looking to counter, that's when he's at his best. A lot of heat there from Matt Wright on a big forehand. He does have an excellent big forehand from his tennis background. It looks like Wright and Ignatowich are just going to put heavy pressure on and dare their opponents to come up with a counter.
And that's going to sail out off the Rafa forehand. And yeah, Matt Wright, #1 tennis player when he played his college tennis at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and can hurt you both off that forehand and that backhand counter that we talked about. And also a very good defender, as you just saw. Oh, terrific finish there by Rafa.
There again was some great defense from Matt Wright, but then when he got to the kitchen line, perhaps an inopportune speed up. Ignatowich did his best to win the firefight, but was unable to.
Todd Fought, a very, very consistent player historically. I've had a chance to play against him several times, and does not make many unforced errors. Doesn't have the most experience of these four, you know, in a big pressure match like this. So we're seeing that early on here, Jim. Let's see if he and Rafa settle down as this match progresses. So far, they've given Matt and James a lot of really easy attackable balls. And there's a freebie there, so they're on the board here.
Yeah, there we see Matt Wright. Pretty good drive from Hewett, kind of chicken wing to Matt Wright, but he adjusted well, hit a nice counter with the backhand. Good partner communication there by Rafa. Always easier for the player whose the ball is not being hit at because they have a little bit of an angle, easier to see the ball likely to go out.
Boy, James is going big on his serve. Well, that was just too easy for them. You know, Todd and Rafa need to clean this up and stop giving them so many attackable shots. They have the skills, Jim, to hang with James and Matt. They just brought their C- game there. But that's what the great players do, is they make life hard on you. And that's what Matt and James are doing. Like you're seeing right here on this backhand flick, how he got that ball really down with a lot of topspin. Yeah, that's not really a ball that is attackable. You know, James's dinks, sometimes they look high off first, but they dip quickly. And to me, that was not a good decision there by Fought.
2-0-1. The power from Ignatowich is, again, sort of, you know, obviously a life partner with Anna Bright. He's kind of copying the Anna Bright style, relentless pressure. We just saw that recently from Anna. Now we're seeing from James. Just pressure, 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 and heavy, heavy shots.
Fought very disappointed in himself in this match, and it looks to me like he's adding pressure to himself and is playing what I call a little stressy pickleball, and I think he needs to take a deep breath and just play his game. He's certainly capable. Oh, that's terrific hands by both Rafa and Todd there. So let's see if they can try to get a couple of points on the board here, serving at 0-4 in game 2 after game 1 that lasted about 3.5 minutes. Not a really good drop there by Fought.
Rafa and Todd just seem to be kind of floundering, looking for the right strategy, and can't really find it.
Well, it was obvious what James and Matt's strategy was coming into this match, is to attack Fought. You know, he hasn't been in this situation very much, and they've really tried to attack him and pick on him. And game 1, it really worked efficiently. Let's see what happens here as we progress in game 2. And that sails wide. Tried to curve it in there. I didn't think it was quite there.
4-0-2 in game 2.
And an update here on Humana Championship Court. We have Andre Daescu and Gabe Tardio with a game point here in the first game.
John successfully defended. Tardio left it in the net on 10-4-2. Not the spot you want to leave that game point.
And James and Matt seem to be winning every hand battle against Fought here. That ball getting behind Fought on the forehand side, gets it late, sails long. So let's see if they can get one on the board here. Yeah, you're not going to get it past Matt Wright on his backhand side or into his body. Watch how he sits backhand and then unleashes on the counter.
That was excellent camera work by our production team with that replay. You could really see it.
Yeah, Fought let that ball get behind him. And one of the things you got to focus on with dinking is you never want the ball to get to your body or to your feet or behind you. You want to get that ball in front of you, because once it gets behind you, the dink is so much more difficult.
And Todd just does not look comfortable at the line, having trouble dinking. I think the power of Ignatowich, especially.
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
Talk real quick about what's been happening with Arizona pickleball.
Well, Arizona,
after this point,
Arizona certainly is one of those places. Phoenix is arguably the #1 city for pickleball in the country. More concentration of 5-0s here probably than any place, and huge pickleball fandom. A little one poach too far for Ignatowich.
Yeah, I would say that was a little too ambitious there for James, but he's feeling it. They're up 6-0 in game 2. It's a good time to try that stuff. And there's another example of Fought making a very questionable decision in my mind. You can't attack Matt Wright at his body or at his backhand side. If you're going to attack him, you better get the ball on the right side of his body or down low, or you're going to eat it. And that's correctly called long.
Especially when Matt has his feet set. When he's not the most athletic player on tour, understandably with his age, but if he has his feet set.
Oh, good lead there by Rafa. You know, sometimes it's hard to get out of the way. I mean, I actually call it a skill. Getting out of the way of out balls. A lot harder than it sounds. So it's going to be a side out with Matt serving at 6-2. They're 5 points away from taking this match in easier fashion, Jim, than I would have expected. Really good Ernie there by Fought.
That was a nice play. It looked like a reasonable drop from Matt Wright, but Todd was able to jump on it Ernie style.
Yeah, Fought just not himself here in this match. He's a much better player than what we're seeing here, Jim. I've seen him a lot. I've played against him a lot. He's a very, very tough, gritty competitor that hardly ever gives his opponent any easy points.
Another one. The cross-court dynamic when Ignatowich and Fought are dinking has been heavily in favor of Ignatowich's side. I'm not sure James has missed a dink. A little bit of a loose play there by Ignatowich. Perhaps relaxing a little bit, up 11-2, 8-2. Now 2-8-1, Hewett to serve. James, you know, again, they've not necessarily captured on TV, but when you see James Ignatowich in person, he is a big man.
He's a big man. He's an intimidating man. He's very strong. Excellent footwork. And you know, I'll tell you what, Jim, he's not even close to his ceiling. This kid, a year from now, could be the #1 or 2 player in the world when it comes to men's doubles, and I'm not exaggerating.
Well, I think he's pretty close to being there now. He's definitely a top 10 player in my book.
So 8-2-2 here in game 2. See where Rafa got that ball to? That's where they got to put it. If you're going to attack Wright, that's the place to attack him.
I agree. You got to make him move as much as you can. And there's just the opposite, where Matt is at the line, has his feet set, very dangerous.
Yeah, and Matt's long. Matt has really long arms, and he's got really big hands, and he's so dangerous at that kitchen line. He's very rangy, I call it. Covers a lot of ground.
Nice shot there by Todd. Ignatowich left it a little bit up, more of an attackable ball.
So they're going to try to make a run here at 3-8-2 in this second game. Let's see. Oh, what a cover by Rafa. And that's forehand is going to sail long.
That's a good call by Todd Vogt. Yell long. Rafa was able to pull his paddle away in time.
So side out here, 8-4-1. They're 4 points away from taking this match and moving on into the round of 8. Yeah, you're not getting that ball past James Ignatowich very often.
James did an excellent job transitioning from sort of a defensive to offensive posture.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a poor decision there after a great reset from Wright, and he's laughing at himself as he walks back to the baseline there. So they got another chance to get the 10 here. Really targeting Fought. No surprise there. Fought played a really good point there, Jim, and just that last ball, James got down so far. I thought Todd should have just reset that last one instead of trying to drive it. But you get into attack mode, attack mode, attack mode. It's so hard to go into reset soft mode.
Match point here. Match point number 1.
And we saw where Fought put that ball, so let's see if he continues that trend, but he got that on the right hip.
So they fight off one match point, get the serve back. Obviously need a run here.
Oh, amazing defense by Rafa Hewett. Getting that last one back with crazy spin on it. And then Fought with a miss hit. So 4-10-2 here. And Fought continues to be a little bit out of sorts here.
They've had some opportunities here in game 2, just have not been able to take advantage of it.
Little surprising to me because Todd is usually an extremely consistent player. Very solid.
Oh, and that court ends it.
And they take it 11-2, 11-4 in pretty easy fashion. So Ignatowich and Wright will move on from this round of 16, and they are done for today.